what time it is. What time it is.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Good evening, good day, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome back. I'm your host, Mike, Michigan, and I also got
B-Dubb,
my co-host. And B-Dubb, where are we from?
We from the zoo, baby.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. I'm from the zoo. Hey, we are on that beautiful episode number 8. You know what I'm saying? And what B-Dubb, we on number 8 already, fam. What you thinking?
Hey, it's been a nice journey.
It has been a great journey, brother. It's been terrific being here with you. We've had some exciting guests. Oh my goodness. You know, I was thinking about when we had Mr. Blasingame, we're about ready to have that magazine ready. You know what I'm saying, fam?
Already.
All the wonderful guests that we got going on. Shouts out to Jack the Mac for the superb interview that we had last week. You can get that full interview on the YouTube channel. And also shout out to the zoology episode is blowing up. Big Puda, Al Carter, Ron Wilson, and everybody else. And shouts out to Ty Lewis. You know what I'm saying? We can't wait to connect with you again. Now, before we get started, we got a very special guest in the house today. Y'all don't even understand how Mike, that's why I'm all flashy today. It's on purpose. It's for a reason. We got Nia. You dig it? So we're going to be coming in real quick. Dubb, real quick, man, we in a fantasy football league together. How your team doing this year, man? How you doing? How you do this last week? Excuse me.
I won 3 in a row and I lost 2 in a row. So I'm trying to get my winning streak back going on. I'm 5-6 right now.
I would say it's pretty good for your first year, man. I'm proud of you, man. You doing.
I'm gonna win the whole thing.
I'm in that league too, and I just lost.
I'm gonna win the whole thing,
I'm number 1 right now, so we see me in the playoffs. We're gonna see how that goes. Good luck to you, and good luck to all y'all players out there. One thing I wanted to say: watch out. The NFL looks really, really scripted. That's all I want to say. You know what I'm saying? It looks really scripted, and I ain't gonna drop the gems, but I did. But anyway, one more thing I wanted to say. I wanted to say shouts up to Derek Jeter and Charlie Jeter, because I had to, I'm in California, Dubb, and I woke up and the first thing I saw on my app, because I keep up what's going on in Kalamazoo with the WWMT app, is a terrible reporting job. It was lousy. I look up and it says Derek Jeter's in town to give multi-millions of dollars today to renew the baseball fields in Kalamazoo, and they had Charlie as his wife in the article.
There we go.
So I was like, I ding, 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 ding. Called up real quick. Called them and they were hurriedly like, yeah, we're aware of it. I'm like, that's terrible. First of all, I'm going to stand up because this might be the closest thing that you're going to get to African-American media from Kalamazoo, in an honest opinion, and freely. You know what I'm saying? So I'm so shout out to us to have our own brand. So we are going to, I'm not going to overdo it because we have a special guest, but I wanted to say, look, man, I'm in the media. Look, don't be disrespectful to somebody that's coming and bringing millions and millions of dollars. Take your time and make sure you do it right. Derek has a beautiful wife and children, and Charlie is his sister, and she is one of the leaders, if not the leader, with Derek, of the Turn 2 Foundation. And the Jeters have done a lot of great things for the community. So you better watch yourselves, Kalamazoo, when you're doing the reporting, since you always want to do the negative on that, and then you want to do a lousy job when it's something outstanding. Derek is a global phenomenon, an owner, the captain, the World Series champion. You need to respect that and do better reporting. And shame on y'all for letting the reporter put it out and then not self-checking. That's all I wanted to say. Because I can't. You dig it?
Shouts out to DJ.
Shouts
Alumni.
out. Now, without further ado, Sage. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take these off, y'all, because it's time. I would like to introduce, all right, Miss Ina Norris. All right. Would you, look, Kiki, could you please zap her on in? Bring it on in. Miss Norris, welcome to the show.
I'm sapped in. Afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
We thank you so much for being here so quickly on short notice. How are you today?
Great. Wonderful.
That is good. It is a pleasure to have you here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the pleasure. I'm going to let Ms. Norris introduce herself, but she is from Hampton University, originally from New York City. She lives in the Bronx. All right. And she's very well established. I'm just giving a little bit, and we have our special connection. As you can see, she's very colorful and wonderful there with her Kwanzaa. Welcome, Ms. Norris. How are you today?
I am fine. Thank you for your welcome. And you're right. I went to Hampton. I graduated from Hampton, and I'm a New Yorker, native New Yorker. I was born in Staten Island, raised in Long Island, and from the last 20-something odd years, 30-something odd years, I've been living in the Bronx. So I'm just New York all around. From one end of the New York to the next end.
That's right, hip hop.
Yes.
That's outstanding.
Absolutely.
Now we have the pleasure, everyone, to be with the founder of the Kwanzaa Film Festival.
Yes.
And you found that in when did you start? In 2017?
I started the Kwanzaa Film Festival in 2017. At the very first time we did it, it was just a festival in a day. So my idea was we're gonna try to do everything somebody would do in a week or a weekend in a day.
Yeah.
So we started like 9 a.m. in the morning and we would end at 12 midnight. But it just was way too much. And there's such a demand for filmmakers to have their films in festivals and the opportunity to be with each other. It just, with the demand, we had to grow. And so now we do a film festival for every day of Kwanzaa.
Oh, that is beautiful. That's absolutely. Now, let me ask you a question. What motivated that? Where did that come from? Where did that spark come from?
Well, the spirit of Kwanzaa, I would say, came from my family. My father, he stopped celebrating Christmas, and everybody wants to celebrate something they can all celebrate together. So you had a lot of people of different religions, Jehovah's Witness, Muslim, Christian, and a family. And Kwanzaa gives you the opportunity to bring everybody together because it's not a religious holiday, it's a cultural holiday. So my father kind of started it, and we began to, our children started to adapt to the idea that we would always have a Kwanzaa celebration. So one year, my mom was like, I can't do this no more. And I was like, oh my God, you mean I'm losing my Kwanzaa? So, well, I always wanted to do a film festival. And I love the principles of Kwanzaa. How about getting films that show the 7 principles and bring the Kwanzaa and the film together, the two things that I love together. And that way people will have some place to go during Kwanzaa, because sometimes people don't even know what to do. Should I light a candle? What should I do? And we do that in the festival, and then see films that are wholesome and have principles in it and have fun and creativity, because Kwanzaa is there. So no matter what, if you're creative, you could be in this festival.
Amen.
And so that's really how it started, by me thinking about doing a film festival. My mother saying she couldn't do the Kwanzaa celebration again, which she did do it, and we still do it every year. That year she was just doubting it, but
she was just feeling it.
Doing it,
Oh my, wonderful. That is such wonderful. Well, it's a pleasure to have such honor here in the spot. You know what? I think we were on the phone earlier, and I'm gonna give it away. We were sharing something together, what we have in coincidence with Kwanzaa. And I was telling you, like, my mom, when I worked in New York for SJS Urban Entertainment and radio syndication, my mother had sent me a Kwanzaa card. And I just sat there and I was trying to become a producer, and I was trying to, like, get my wings, if you want to say, and like, how could I make an impact? And it just came to me, call Dr. Karinga. And I called Dr. Karinga, and he picked up the phone. And the next thing you know, I said, Dr. Karinga, my name is Nicolay McClendon, and we would like to make we would like to have Kwanzaa. The days of Kwanzaa, we'd like to create these vignettes so that every single day of Kwanzaa that we could play these vignettes all throughout major radio. We could play it in New York, Chicago, Philly, Detroit, LA, all over, New Orleans. And he paused for a moment and says, I'm with it. And the next thing you know, Dr. Karinga was coming in the office right over there in Manhattan. And the funny thing how things work, I didn't get a chance to sit there in the meeting. You know how things work.
Yes.
But I got a chance to make the connection, make that happen. And then, but the greater thing was, it's not about me. It was about God. It's just about Kwanzaa.
Right, exactly. And mainly, the main thing I want to bring out is the principles of Kwanzaa, because we do stuff all year long, and we celebrate those principles in the Kwanzaa Film Festival all year long, either by celebrating an ancestor. This year we did Billie Holiday. We, of course, Juneteenth, we celebrate quite a few ancestors on that day, and we kind of keep it going, and we kind of keep talking about the principles of Kwanzaa throughout the year, so that we could kind of bring people along to the idea of the principles and what Kwanzaa is about. Yes.
We have here Miss Ina Norris from A Woman Productions. Could you tell us a little bit about your production companies?
Oh, yeah. Inner Woman Productions is a theater and film production company, heavily in film first. We started in 1991, 92.
Yes.
I like to say 91 because that was the first time we put on a play, and then it escalated into we need to have a company if we're putting on a play. But what happened is I'm very talkative about this because it's such a great story. When I was at college, I wrote, and I've written poems all my life. And I was at college, and Sonia Sanchez had came to our school. I don't know, Sonia Sanchez, the poet? Oh, you have to look her up. She's just a dynamic poet. She's like up there with Bonnie and Maya and all of that. Sonia Sanchez is the person. And she came to our school, and she was saying for everybody to read a poem, and I was terrified. I'm like, I'm not reading no poem. I know I write poems, but I'm not gonna read it. But I read one, and she was very impressed with it. And she said, you can't call yourself a poet if you never read a poem. Oh. So it kind of stayed in my head. So a couple of years later, I'm working as a child protective diagnostic worker, where we go out for abuse and neglected children. And I meet this woman named Pamela Lee, who becomes my very, very best friend.
Wow.
So I eventually leave that job because it's a very hard job to stay on. I made my mark there, which I am doing a film about what happened on that job.
Wow.
And I left because I never talked about what happened on that job.
Wow.
It's a big money business.
Yeah, like a year ago or so. And then someone said to me, I want to do a film on that. I was like, really? And I really didn't tell anybody what happened, but what happened was a big deal. But anyway, to get a long story short, I left the job and went to work at New York City Housing Authority, the first job readiness program that they ever had with NYCHA. And I did the first job fair with NYCHA, one of the biggest ones that they ever had in the city. And I still wasn't feeling like I'm doing enough. So my son was born, and I said, I'm trying to find him a school. So I found a Black independent school, the Learning Tree Preparatory School, and they were always broke. And I was like, I don't know how am I going to help the school? I don't want it to close down. My son just got there. So my friend reminded me, bring them poems and stuff you have to my house, and we're going to have a powwow. So they started pulling poems out. Everybody, there's like 5 women reading these poems. They said, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. Yeah. And they were like, take this back and make this a play. I'm like, really? I never wrote a play before. But that play was called Nobody Loves a Black Little Girl When She Becomes a Woman. And it ran for 8 years.
Amen. Let's get some.
Wanted to raise money for a Black independent school. And that changed my whole entire life. It changed all my goals. And I just continued to start writing plays, and the production company formed itself around the plays that I wrote. And I've been in the, creative space ever since.
That's beautiful story.
Beautiful.
And see how the principles, like, just using the principles, from your heart, from just out of like, oh my God, I don't want my son to not be able to go to the school. I don't want them to lose money. God gave you a way to be creative in your own way, and unity, bringing everybody together.
Yes.
Collectively. And then you had something that went on for outstanding for 8 years. Wait, that's outstanding. Congratulations.
Can I just say one thing? I want to just say her name because she passed away last year. Yes. And she was my partner in terms of the business and Woman Productions, Pamela Lee. She was my best friend, and she was my partner in business for many years, not the whole entire time, but she became a commissioner of the agency I left. And she was going to come and return after she retired, but she didn't get to do that because she had gotten cancer. But I always like to say her name, Pamela Lee. I always like to say my father's name when it comes to Kwanzaa, John D. Norris, because we had to give that kind of respect to our ancestors that have paved the way. So Ashe, yes.
Ashe, yes. That's wonderful. Wow. Thank you for keeping that.
We had the 2-minute drill the first quarter.
Yes, we had a 2-minute drill. We go in 4 quarters, Miss Norris. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get back into it. It's so exciting. Real quick, we're going to, Dubb, would you like to go ahead and shout out a couple of our sponsors for us, brother?
Shout out to Kellogg's Cereal, Morning Breakfast of Champions. Also, First United Bank, the first Black bank. Go open up your account. And basically we can... we have one in Chicago, LA, and Miami at First United Bank, where you can go register online and open your up account at the one and only all Black bank.
That's right. Right here you heard it right here on I'm From the Zoo. Also, I'd like to do a couple of, before we get to the end of the closer, I wanted to shout out Charlie Minton's and Amina for giving me the Zoo Babies brand. I had worn the shirt I'm From the Zoo on the front because it kind of just matched, you know what I mean? But shout out to them and the Zoo Babies. You can go and find them online. And also I want to give a shout out to Squeeb, Greg Howard, because we didn't even say you for the YBL championships, which you was a big part of, bro. And I know you got it. So shouts out to you, Squeeb. That's what I'm saying, my man. What you gonna say to Squeeb, man?
Squeeb, what up, though?
Hey, what up, Dubb? That's what I'm talking about, man. You know what I'm saying? And shouts out to everybody that's doing something. Now back to the program. Here we go.
I got a question for Ms. Norris. Ms. Norris, so what kind of advice do you have for young entrepreneurs or young film producers or that want to get into the business? And it's a lot of divide and conquer, making it feel like you can't make a movie or make it feel like you can't get your what you want to say out. Far as the budget wise, so what do you have for advice for young?
First of all, I want to find out more about this bank, okay? Because I would love to support a Black-owned bank, First United Bank. Okay, yeah. I'm looking for a bank, so that's great to know. But I want to say one of the things is that film and theater are a little different. Film, you definitely have to position yourself around a community. It's just, you can't just be the lead. Like there's so many people to lead in so many different areas. So you have to submit to, you don't know everything, and just try to get as much information and put yourself in environments where you can get it done. Do not let money determine whether you can get it done. First of all, I just saw a film in the festival that I had to call the guy up. I was like, I just had to know how he did the film.
Yeah.
And he told me he spent less than $5,000. This film looked like incredible. So sometimes if you have a community, you build a community, everybody brings something to the table and you get it done. Now, can you educate yourself? Yes, you should. Does it have to be college? No, it could be just being on set, finding out different programs that you have in your area. As far as theater, it's similar, but if you wrote a script, you can lead with the script. If you're a playwright, you know, you could kind of lead with that. Everybody kind of attracts to the playwright. I find it very different with film. Even if you're the director, you got to kind of convince everybody to get on. And I was an independent producer for the plays that I wrote. You know, they were all of the plays I wrote were produced, and you know, had a run. Maybe one or two of them had the year of the World Trade Center. I didn't run that one a lot.
Is that
And
your
then
project? Yeah, the last Tango in Harlem, was that your project?
no, that's the film. That's a film.
Oh,
So the film Last Tango in Harlem,
Yeah.
that was that has, you know, that I did with a very small team. And again, ask your local stores sometime, because the money came in from local people, local business people.
Right.
It was no big time producer. Sometimes a real estate agent wants to be a part of this arts community. Don't always go to artists for money. That's what I learned. Almost even when I was doing plays, they were hard because they're competitive. Everybody's going to these art groups for money, but not everybody's going to the real estate or the construction company or the the eye doctor or the lawyer. Everybody's going to. So
You know
I
what?
was
That's so interesting, and I'm agreeing with you saying, because when I got a chance to do pizza delivery, for example, you know, it went from writing it to acting into it, and then when the post came, you know, I'm still doing it to this day. But you know, when you put on a producer hat, you don't realize how many different opportunities open to you up for you to communicate with different people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So tell us more about that, being a producer, because you know, people don't see about raising money, getting the openings. I mean, your day-to-day is going, tell them.
yeah, it's crazy because even producing the Kwanzaa Film Festival, the day-to-day is 8 a.m. to whatever. But I do want to say there was, just in terms of all the areas, making sure you write everything down and get assistance. Don't try to build a team first if you can. Sometimes team doesn't come right away until they see success. So, you know, they see a little success. It doesn't have to be big. They start to come, but at the beginning, sometimes don't let that stop you, but try not to do everything, because there's too many areas when you're producing. But I want to say, as far as and I kind of lost my thought for a minute.
No, you're talking about the different jobs of producing.
Yeah, the different jobs of producing. Oh, what I want to say, if you're afraid to ask for things, don't do this business.
You know what? That is so true.
You have to get them to uncomfortable with
You have
asking.
to be vulnerable to be able to hear no.
Yes. It doesn't always come right away. Like you know, like you start off, you know, you just practice asking. Go to Dunkin' Donuts and say, I need some donuts for my cast. And I'm like, why can't you just buy these donuts? No, we don't have it in the budget. It's for just practice asking. Ask not, you will not get it. Okay, if you don't ask, whatever that Bible verse is, ask not, want not, or whatever. If you have to learn to ask. And if you ask, say it's a percentage thing, you're gonna get a lot of no's, but just keep going, you know, and don't always play yourself small. I have a story that Kerr has helped me with a film project. And I went and I asked for $3 million and I got turned down because the man thought that I had a project that was more than 10.
Yes.
He was annoyed.
I got a question for you. Can you tell me about the Ain't Your Mama Crying on the Pancake Box?
Oh, Ain't Your Mama Crying on the Pancake Boxcar. Actually, that made the Playbill's funniest title. But Ain't Your Mama Crying on the Pancake Box actually is a play about a woman who is struggling with homelessness. And she's riding the train and she is trying to start a revolution with the people riding the train, and she's trying to come on, start this revolution, and nobody does. But along the way, she meets people who are concerned about her sanity and bring her back to her consciousness. And she has a little boy that she travels with. So there's a lot of poetry and there's a lot of skits. And that's another one that I would like to bring back, because
yes, ma'am,
that was during I didn't give it the nurturance. I got awards for it, but I
Yeah.
didn't give it the nurturance I gave my other pieces.
Like now, when you see that, like it seems like you're very reflective instantaneously with community. And so it's a lot to what you see. And you see a lot in the Bronx, you've seen a lot from Staten Island, and you have a background in psychology. And
Right.
how do you bring all of those things together when you're creating your productions?
Well, I tell you, when I first started writing, it was really passion because I had been in so many homes. ACS, come on, I've been in where they say everybody hit the floor.
Yeah.
You're sitting there, hit the floor. That means some bullets might be coming at you. I've been in homes where people were homeless, but yet and still everything was neat and refined and the love was there. I seen so much. I seen little girls, seeing themselves in negative. I seen children with sexual abuse, all of that. So that energy was there, but that energy was there prior to.
For your
I
story
came
to
with
be
that.
developed.
Yeah, because Hampton is not going to let you leave without some sense of consciousness. Now, if you leave that way, that's because your upbringing wasn't compatible to it. But Hampton, you were supposed to go out there, let your heart do the singing, and bring that community there. And that's how I felt when I left Hampton. Not everybody has that, but that's how I felt. And then my family complimented that. My father was like that, my mom, the stuff that, I grew up in like I said, I was raised in Long Island. So a lot of incidents happen out there because you go to school, you're the only Black kid in class, and people treat you a certain way. So
and
there was a lot.
That's a shame that still
me.
goes on today. It's still a shame that it still goes on today. But what is great though, is that we have the opportunity to, when there wasn't a place for our creativity to have any directions, but just us, and we had to believe in ourselves.
Yes.
Look how great God is to take our creatives and make that vehicle happen, and to help so many to help so many people.
And I guess we really don't even give us enough credit. Our community has supported us. They have loved us the best way that they can.
Yes.
They, when we little, somebody came around and said, "You okay?" Somebody. So I think that's important. But I would just say to people who write from their heart, it's going to resonate. For real. It's just like everything. And believe me, when you go to one of my plays, a lot of times they're like, it's going to be serious. But no, I was shocked. Like when I started writing, most people are laughing at a lot of things I thought was going to be dramatic. Right. And that's what happened with Nobody Loves. They were laughing at themselves for identifying that, identifying with it. So there was a lot of laughter. There's a lot of laughter and a lot of tears.
Yes, that's something outstanding. That's so motivational to me. Dubb, there was a couple of more questions that you had, and you know what? We didn't mean to stop you. You were talking about how many different hands that we had and things like that. But
that was the question I was asking.
Yeah.
Oh, how many? Well, of course, as a producer, you have to deal with the director, the production management, the costume person, everybody, and everybody's a producer. Actually, can to me is still creative because you have to learn how to put everybody together. You got to make sure that everything matches up. A lot of times they look at directing as being the creative source. But I feel like producing can be creative too, knowing who could work with who. They're on set. There's theater and then there's film. On set, there's always a lot of drama.
Yes. You know what? I want to ask you a question, because this is a true question for the film producer. Only we know what we're about to say. You were built for this job, weren't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Me too. Because it's like it's chaotic and it's everything at the same time thrown at you. But it's so crazy because when I'm not tripping, but because I'm feeling this here, because it's like everything you're saying is resonating so well. When we did the pizza delivery, I didn't think about it with my camera, when my camera person couldn't make it on days I need to shoot because I only got the actor to be available on that day. Right. But yet can't get them together. You can go cuckoo, and if you don't have a lot of patience and you don't, and keep yourself together, you can really, I can see why films and so much drama, happens on sets.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I think helped me too recently is taking a back seat and not always being in a lead and learning how, like, I was an assistant director recently of a film project, and that I felt good because I felt like I could see it from a different angle, and I think I was real helpful because I knew what it felt like to be in charge.
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make this wonderful for this individual. And he felt that. He's like, wow, this
Yeah.
this you're able to handle me being chaotic. I was like, because I know what it feels like.
Right. And then thank you. What an absolute wonderful answer. I appreciate that. You know what? Time is flying. We are
Yeah,
already
we had 2
halftime.
minutes in the second quarter.
We are already almost getting to halftime, like we at Madison Square Garden with the
So
Knicks or
so
something.
so so tell me, Miss Norris, do you have what future projects that you got coming up? And are you looking for any actors or any workers or anything?
Okay, well, I guess we'll talk about the Kwanzaa Film Festival
Yeah.
last, what it is and where it's going to be. But I do have a couple of scripts that I'm shopping around. One is actually looking like it's in someone else's hands. I won't be producing it.
Mhm.
So I kind of don't want to, we had a strike, so I was waiting for it to be over. So I will have some input in terms of casting. And that is going to be a remake of a film version of Nobody Loves a Black Little Girl When She Becomes a Woman. Then I have a project called Until the Last Eagle Flies. And I'll be looking for a young someone between the ages of 16 and 21 to play the lead, and her mother's a supporting lead, so someone 30-ish. She had
Right.
Beautiful.
and then I don't know when I'm gonna pull this together, but I did write a film on the great Joe Louis.
Oh, wow. That's right up
Wow.
Valley. He has a upcoming boxing cast.
Oh, really? I am gonna be looking.
Sorry.
That one is pretty exciting because even though I'm excited about Nobody Loves, of course, that's dear to me until the last eagle flies. But this one is a fluke. I was writing a short for a particular actor, and I kept on writing. Next thing you know, I had a feature film, and then
Yeah.
that actor was decided they're not acting anymore. So I have the script,
Yeah.
So yeah, so I have a number of scripts that are, there's plans for, and some that, are gonna be coming forward. So yeah, I'm always looking for actors.
We're going to talk. That is a wonderful question, Dubb. Thank you so
Man.
much. You know what? I love acting. We are at halftime, so we're going to take a real quick moment to do a couple more shouts out. Right here on the I'm from the Zoo, I want to give a shout out to the Douglas Community Association, Mr. Mike Williams and O'Neill, and also for the coaches, Coach Beauregard, Coach Duckett, Coach Green, Coach Jackson, Coach Long. Lots of definitely good mentors and leaders. And I also want to give a shout out to my mom and my dad, because, I want to take time to do that. And also, since we're out there, I want to give a shout out to my Uncle Tommy Rawls in New Jersey. He's 96 years old. And he called me on accident the other day, but he just said, I'm here. Give me a So I said,
that's right.
Shout out to my Uncle Tommy Rawls. Anybody you want to give a quick shout out to, Dubb?
Oh yeah, we forgot to shout out Napalm. Napalm Farm, Seattle, Washington.
Big shout out.
It give you a lot of good creams and everything that you use to make sure that it's a natural base.
Nice
to helping you out with the pain reliever
Right.
for nice stuff.
Absolutely. Different type of medical things to expand your mind. And also I want to give a shout out to Mr. Kier Worthy, always a pillar for our success. And we want to shout out Brother Kier and all of that, and everyone that's checking in this afternoon, or welcome back.
Shout out to Miss Norris. Thank you for coming.
Miss Norris, this has been fabulous. Now look, I wanted to, this is like a joy for me to be here, because I'm gonna get it in today. You dig it? You know what I'm saying? I was the kid that was I was the one that carried the little Pro XL 2000 around, and then I had the little camera, and everybody like, get that out of my face. And I still got the camera, and I've always been recording and been fascinated with it. And like the first film that I liked found myself wanting to become a filmmaker was, I believe, was Maddie Rich. Does that sound right?
Oh, Brooklyn's straight out of Brooklyn.
Straight out of Brooklyn. I seen that in this little theater underneath the basement. It was like in Kalamazoo. And I seen that, and I was about 15 years old. And I said, I can do that. And I believed in myself for the moment. Can you tell me and tell us and our fans and everyone of your fans, what was that first moment when you knew that you were a filmmaker and a writer?
Well, I want to say more so a writer, because that's like was my first love.
Mhm.
But I started writing when I was like 9. But in terms of seeing it, I think it was I saw Intisaki Shange.
Mhm.
And I also took a class, Black Theater, at Hampton, and there was various, plays that we had to read.
Yes.
Douglas Turner Ward, Day of Absence, definitely attracted me. But when I saw Intisaki Shange and it was poetry and I wrote poetry, said, well, that kind of made me feel like, oh, this writing thing could be bigger.
Mhm.
And so I would say Sonia Sanchez for pointing me out at that place. I want to say, Robbie Reed and the woman who does the costumes for Black Panther. They gave me an award when I was at Hampton.
Yes.
But I've been writing for so long, like since I was 9. I guess I don't know what made me write at 9. Like I started writing and just keeping everything in this box.
Yes.
So something there's my father. My father used to write poems. He had Ina, that was my title, and write a poem about me. Gilda, then he would write a poem about my sister. John, it was my dad. He was writing poems.
Yeah.
And that's what probably made me start to write so early. But as far as filmmaking, I was scared of film. I was really afraid of it. It just seemed so intense. And, even I took a workshop here, a workshop there, and then people would encourage me, you can do it, you could do it. But it seems so intense.
Mhm.
I knew I had control over the stage, the theater, but as one person guided me and then another person guided me, I felt I began to feel comfortable.
Absolutely beautiful. That's terrific. And then that leads me to think about when you get to the point that you are now, because you've been such a great mentor and to everyone. And we're going to go ahead and start, if you don't mind, get into the Kwanzaa Film Festival.
Sure. So we have the Kwanzaa Film Festival, and today this year we have our location. We always wanted to have it. We wanted to have it at the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture, because that's an internationally renowned place. That's a place where all of our history is there. However, we have that for 4 days, and then the fifth day we go into AMC, and then Sunday and Monday we have virtual programming, because New Year's Eve you cannot compete with New Year's Eve, at a place.
I wanted to say my birthday happens to fall on the 27th. And I wanted to share with everyone, because I have been sharing this post. I wanted to thank the selection committee, yourself, because the pizza delivery, y'all, was selected for the Kwanzaa Film Festival this year, 2023.
Yes.
So I want to thank everybody that was involved. And you said something that was so amazing, and it resonated. Pizza delivery came because when I moved to Florida, I had gone to 5 colleges and had all kind of jobs. But when I got to Florida, all they would give me was a delivery job.
Oh, well.
I'm telling the truth. So I was a pizza delivery job, Jimmy John's, you name it, I was delivering. It didn't care. They didn't care about my accolades and nothing. You're the delivery driver, okay? So I had pizza delivery came from experiences, like you had said, out of the job that nobody would have believed. And I didn't even get to shoot most of that stuff. So when I was writing the script, and I had, shouts out to my man Prophet for helping me write it and getting things together. And then shouts out to Keys Burks and Dougie, my cinematographer and film and directors. And we had auditions. It went from that thought to auditions
It
to
actually happened.
actually happen in 4K and all this other stuff, and like just like you said, you never know how far, encouragement will take you, and we're talking about the Kwanzaa Film Festival and how you got that together and where it's at for the Schaumburg this year. It's absolutely outstanding and amazing.
Yeah, so we're in Harlem. We've been in Harlem for most of the time, except when it was COVID.
Mhm.
And then we have other events in Harlem after our main stage. We are also at the Shrine Music Venue,
Okay.
doing an event celebrating 50 years of hip hop, showing music videos, and also celebrating soundtracks from films. And then we also, our
Nice.
very first day, we have our opening, which is the 26th, which is our honorees. We have people in the community that we honor. Right now, I don't know why I'm going blank, but I'm going to say Dr. Simmons. They're going to kill me. Like, how could I forget my honorees? But there's a number of people from all over the country. It's not just Harlem that are being honored. And then we're going to show 2 films. One is called Nikaruka, and the other one is The Wealthiest Man in the World. And then the next day, we honor female directors and producers.
Okay.
So most of the films are from female on your birthday, directors and producers. And then after we show those films, we go over to the Shrine from the Schaumburg, which is just a block away. And we're going to be celebrating hip hop a little bit more formal, the music videos. We're gonna have a DJ, all of that good stuff. The next day we do Black melanin male writers, us too. We show films from men that write.
Yes.
And all of these times, the filmmakers will get a chance and opportunity to speak about their film. Definitely, like we encourage that. So there's panels that go along with this. And then on that day, though, we're doing Lead Belly, which is going to be a premiere because
Alvin.
Lead Belly, and we're going to have
shouts out to Alvin.
And we're going to have reception after that. And then on Friday, we do sports and entertainment, films and documentaries around sports and entertainment. Then we do a panel discussion with Black sports and entertainment lawyers, how to sustain and sustain your work, and also making it profitable, making sure all your legal stuff is straight. And then from there, we go to the Renaissance Hotel, where we're going to have Kwanzaa Film Festival date night, find your creative match. So we'll have different production companies there that it's like a speed networking event where you can leave 5 contacts and get to meet all type of production houses, or even lawyers, or even PR people, whatever that you leave with. And then the next day, that's when it's like a smorgasbord of films. There's not a particular theme, but we call it the Kwanzaa Film Festival Indoor Block Party, because we have the vendors, we have entertainment, we have films and exhibitions. And that will be at ANC. And then the very next day, we are going to do something called Get Casted. That's going to be virtually, have people come and do their monologues, have other people get to look at you, cast the directors, see what you do. And we're also going to show films that day. And then the next day, it's faith-based. We're showing faith-based films because it's the last day is faith. And we're going to have faith-based distributors speak about their networks. And then in the middle, we're going to have films for the soul. And those are more like about health, consciousness, mental health. We have some professionals. We had a lot of doctors submit this year, that are come and talk. And then at the end of the film festival, we're going to have a powwow with Black Film Festival organizers. So you get to hear from a group of different film festival organizers, seeing their aim and how we could do it better. How can we make this be more profitable for the filmmaker? How can we as a community be like a pathway well, I went to this festival. I know I could go to this one, and this will lead to this.
Yes.
You know, and for us, our film festival, we always at least give you the opportunity at least to have 1 or 2 meetings with the distributors. It's up to you. A lot of times film festivals, filmmakers aren't ready for a distributor. Like you, I would definitely think you're ready. You have all of these little vignettes, you put it together, you're ready, right? For a distributor, you want to continue. So we do have the meeting. We can't promise you anything, but we do offer the meeting. And this year I'm going to try to do the meetings early, like what have you. So after that, then you'll see little pop-up. After we have the main 7 days, we'll have little pop-ups along the way. And then we do something Martin Luther King Day. We do something Black History. You know, you'll see us do things throughout the year.
This is such a
website. It's the KwanzaaFilmFestival.com.
Okay.
It's still being built out because I had to leave my other website because, you know, the website business is kind of crazy too.
Oh yeah,
absolutely,
So
an amazing pioneer.
And get a new one. So I'm still building it out, but the KwanzaaFilmFestival.com will have most of the information. And if you want to, you know, get tickets or what have you, or find out what we're doing, anytime of the year, you can go on there.
So it's definitely good for a place that
Thank you.
we have a movie called The Game Don't Last Forever, and I got the rights to it, but it's like 30 years old. But it was just digital wise. But
we are in it. In fact. Matter of fact, we're younger. These young men right on the screen, we are in there. Younger men.
How you could do a film from 30? No, but let me say, I believe that you can revamp anything. Someone sent me a film called Unspoken Conversation. It's going to be in the film festival. It is wonderful, and it's from years ago. And I know sometimes you need to, like, a little tight edit with the old pieces, or maybe color corrected or whatever, but you can do stuff with it. You can, this creativity, be creative, how you represent something that, you know, you call it a classic, whatever. And
I don't even think you gotta, me personally, I don't even think you gotta go in there and change anything. Okay. It's just a part of getting it out there so people can actually see it.
It was a good film. The Rob, shouts up to Rob Ryan who made it.
Shouts out to Rob Ryan.
When he did it, he was super professional about it, even when we made it. And I believe at one point Maverick Films, which was owned by Madonna, was looking at it. Remember when films was just starting to come out as an independent level at that point and things like that. So that, but it was a good project. So, let's
talk about it real quickly. Yeah. I just want to, maybe I can help you out.
Let's get back to it, like with the Kwanzaa, because that's so important, because we can because you know what, I'm so interested now. We are already going into the 4th quarter. Time is just rolling because I know you got to go, and I'm just so happy to have you. You know, thank you once again for having. I want to be a part of the Kwanzaa Film Festival this year. You know, it's been a long time since I've been to New York. I used to live there for some years, and I think, you know, this might be God is the greatest. I mean, I wanted to get to New York for the because I'm a hip hop artist, and I wanted to get to New York before the 50th year came about. And then, you know, when I applied for the festival, you know, I was just excited. But then when it got accepted, I was just like, wow, you know, it's just something about that. It was just dear to my heart. And that was the first thing anything that I've ever done that gained some recognition. So I really would love to be a part.
Yes,
if you would like me to be a host, I'm asking.
Certainly.
I'm available.
Hey, yes.
Maybe I can MC something.
Yes, totally. Definitely. I love it. I love when the filmmakers engage, because I feel like that's what's different from our film festival than others. We invite you to engage. We want you to engage, to be a part, to be a panelist, to do whatever you can do to spotlight you. So that's great. Yes, we'll talk about that after.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. Hey, are we going into the 4th quarter now already? Goodness, this time is just flying.
Put it on the board. I think it is 4th quarter coming up.
4th quarter. Now, I wanted to go back and ask you, because I know that you know, the Kwanzaa Film Festival sounds like absolutely. We're going to have links right here. Matter of fact, I think we're going to share it right now. Thank you, Kiki, for sharing those. and start the fourth quarter. So you can go ahead and get tickets here at the Kwanzaa. You want to tell everybody once more what the website is again?
Yes, the website is the KwanzaaFilmFestival.com. And you will soon be able to get tickets on there. Right now, we've just been sending out the invitations, but you will be able to purchase tickets on there probably by Saturday. And it will give you a rundown. Right now, it's just giving you a rundown for 4 of the days, but you will have the whole entire festival on there, so you'll know what you can do and what you can't do. And we really love for people from outside of New York to come.
Yes.
And if you want to volunteer, or if you just check in, you never know, there might be a place for you. Like, I am looking for a host for various different things. So I'm so glad you mentioned that.
Yes, absolutely.
That hip hop artists at that, because hip hop is this year is like a really big thing in New York.
Yes.
So we didn't leave it out.
However, I could be involved, please. I'm it would be an honor. To be honest with you, it would be an honor, and I promise I'll do a great job for you.
I'm sure you would.
Yeah.
Would love that. Would love that.
Plus that birthday energy too. I'm just so excited. My dad told me to remind you, he said, I want to tell you that you're a couple years older than hip hop. And I was like, yeah, Dad, I know hip hop's my little brother, but I love it like no other.
I don't think so. I
I think it's been around a long, long time,
No, I don't know. Like you, yeah, I guess women, you saying hip hop's a little older than you.
Yeah. I mean, like it was 73. Oh yeah, I'm a little bit old.
Yeah. The hip hop is older than you.
Yeah, hip hop definitely older than me. I'm telling him no, it's not. You know what I'm saying? But like
I feel like hip hop, is just an extension of a lot of things. And I just feel like a lot of it wasn't recorded. Because when I grew up, nobody was really saying anything. We were just doing it, right? So
it was about that Bronx experience.
I think it was all over. Like, the people don't know about the Jersey City experience. They don't know about the Staten Island experience. They don't even know about the Long Island experience. Right. They just know about whoever put I loved it. The poster of Kool Herc's poster, like, come to this party. Or whatever, whoever put a dime to it and put a name to it, that's where you got it. And that's a lesson for all of us. Like, we do stuff sometimes, we do it casually, we don't put a name to it, we don't put it a value, and he did.
Yeah, that's amazing what you just said. I mean, you're right. Anybody probably could have made I'm from the zoo, and maybe have, you know what I'm saying, and get again. But I'm from the zoo is just something that everybody says that I know growing up affectionately. Dubb and I, we grew up together, known each other over 40 some years, and we love our community. And that's why I'm glad that we're all here. This is absolutely fabulous. Your energy is just dynamic, wonderful. Over the top. We've got 10 people in the house today. We want to thank you all for being up in here. You know what I wanted to ask? Now, when you started your journey, I bet you never thought that you probably would be are you almost like a casting director? Do big time producers contact you for talent and some of your projects and what you're doing? Tell me about that.
Well, I want to say it has happened, but that's not my main focus, but it has happened. I remember one time someone called me and they were looking they put on Facebook, they were looking for a young child that was South African. And I just happened to have been doing a play, and a South African woman, I had met her online for The Lion King with my son. He was trying out, and her son was too. And I got her name. I said, I'm doing a play. I said, there's this thing I wish I could have. I wish I could have an opera singer in this play. Said, I do opera. So she gets casted right off the back. And she's like the spirit that does opera. This play was called The Turnstile Warrior. So a couple of months after that, I see something looking for a South African child. So I call her. And I said, can you get your son here, real quick and whatever? So she brings her son. He grew up in Canada, so he don't have that.
Right.
So I call a friend. We find someone to teach him. He learns real quick. he gets casted in this great movie, even though it wasn't a big movie, but it was a beautiful production. He got paid handsomely. But this is the thing.
Wow.
The little girl he was playing against, all of a sudden she couldn't do it anymore. So his little sister became a star. Their resumes now both are crazy.
Wow.
They have a crazy resume. Even the little girl that winds up being the actress, she even was on for Oscar for a voiceover. Like their resume, but that was all because the intention is to help. Like in this business, if you help, and guess what? I got a check too.
Wow.
I got to check because that's like, okay, we got to find a way to pay her. Okay, she's their educational counselor. Just because you're helping. So yeah, I get called. Damon Dash, right? He hasn't done it yet, but I know that he's looking for what is that paid in full? They're gonna be doing that again.
Oh, paid in full.
Yeah, he trying to do the next one. Sure is.
So that I have connects for that. I mean, once in a while I'll get a really good connect for something. I remember I sent people down for when Lee Daniels did that play, that film Precious. I sent people down for that. So, but it's not my focus. It's just like jumps in my lap sometime, and I just try to answer the call, but it's not my focus.
I understand. I just wanted to just, and I was sure, I was like, I was wondering, would Tyler Perry contact you, or, those type of people like bring in, because when you're in New York and you do theater, it's a different thing being on that stage and in that film. It's a whole different vibration.
You get to meet people more on a regular New York, but there's still gatekeepers, and what we really need to do is work on some of the Black gatekeepers. Come on, open the doors a little more, because you are our brothers and sisters. You know what we've been through.
Wow.
I'll tell you, I admire Ayala Vasant a lot, because when you write her, I mean, I write everybody. When you write her, you're gonna get written back within a week.
Yes,
she's going to respond to you. You could come on, gatekeepers. You could at least say, I'm not available right now. I admire Viola Davis. She's going to get back to you whether she can or not. I don't like when you have such a grand staff. You are on the other side of the door.
Yes.
And you can't let us little guys know that.
Let us come in. Let us in there. Let us
at least recognize that we are there.
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll start kicking it in.
You know what? And also on that note, don't take our stuff from us and put it out on the stage and take it because you've been scouting us. I've been through that. And one of the things that you had mentioned I'm really interested in is learning the business of protecting scripts. Yes. And how to do that right, and how to move that to production company. Because I think what you said earlier, and I'm is so important about the education, and I'm really my ears are open. I'm Dumbo, if you want to say right now, for having the legalities of how to do the films and do it right, and everything.
Yeah. So I got one question from Miss
Norris.
Miss Norris, for sure. What are your top 5 movie soundtracks? If I may ask.
Come on.
And I know you got a lot of good ones, but maybe you can share a few of them with us.
Nice question.
I would say, well, right off the bat, what came into my mind is Waiting to Excel. I love that soundtrack. Something with Curtis Mayfield, with Claudine. I love that soundtrack. I love More Better Blues.
Yeah,
I love that movie, period.
That was a great soundtrack too. Yeah,
I love More Better Blues.
The Wiz would be one of mine.
Oh, that was cold.
Roots.
But I got one for you. I got one for you. Let's do it again.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, I watched that the other night. That was
that's
nice
beautiful right there, Dubb. You go into that 70s, because I wanted to also bring up, what? Maybe we need to change the narrative. Since I'm we're online today with a film historian. Maybe we need to change the narrative about our Blaxploitation films and really examine those again, because we were, Black people, man, we're such a beautiful people. And when you look at those, don't you know how proud you feel when you look at those afros? Even though we're talking about pimping and hustling and doing all that crazy stuff, I think one day we need to really look at those blaxploitation films and embrace them and stop being afraid to be like, yo, I'm embarrassed, but I'm not.
Right.
I love Leon Kennedy's movie. I love Shaft.
Oh,
Yeah, we actually have a film
Rest in peace to Richard Brown's Tree and Shaft.
It's
Hey,
so funny.
what's the one?
What were you saying? I'm sorry, Miss Norris.
That's so funny you should mention that. I just want to plug the fact that we have a documentary on Jane Kennedy, and she will be coming to the festival, by way of virtual, but she will be there live virtually.
Yeah, Jane Kennedy. Wow.
I was a shorty when I knew that I couldn't see that movie.
Oh, she was beautiful.
Wow, yes, definitely.
She was beautiful, man. Yes, she was.
Exactly.
I ain't never heard somebody marry somebody and take her last name. Her husband did.
You were smart.
Leon Isaac Kennedy.
He did the right thing, and Gordon Parks, one of the things I regret, Dubb, is that famous Harlem picture. Axe Starsky and I was running to get in the picture. We was just right there. We're like you can see like we're coming, you know what I'm saying? Like we're just, but that Gordon Parks picture, he was a great filmmaker. And we have so many great authors,
Let me say something about Gordon Parks.
Yeah.
One, I got to meet him way back because he donated the typewriter to that school that I was doing the fundraisers for. And I knew one of his godsons and got him to come to the school and donate his typewriter, and they still have that typewriter till this day. And the second thing is that there is a possibility that his script through Leadbelly may be donated to the Schomburg Library at the film festival on December 28th.
We had
a legend.
We had Alvin on the show talking about Leadbelly, so this is just wonderful with all the family. Congratulations to you, Alvin and Leadbelly. We can't wait to see that at the festival. Yes. Oh my goodness, time is flying. I see we only got a few more minutes. So Ms. Norris, the floor is yours. We would like you to go ahead and once again plug any and everything that you can. And we want to thank you so much for being a guest here on I'm From the Zoo.
Absolutely.
And before we go, we want you to give us a recommendation of who you could say could be a guest on this I'm From the Zoo.
Oh wow. I think my recommendation would be Sophia Sunghai, who actually did the documentary on Jane Kennedy, and to see if she could get someone on that team to come. If it's not Jane, I would recommend her. I have so many recommendations. Joe would just be like, I know comedians, I know rap artists, I know what have you. Just let me know. I'm going to always be able to tell you somebody, because it's a tremendous amount. If you think about it, at this point, all the filmmakers that came that have great stories or great films, some of them have great things to share. Yes. And then the fact that I know some actors, how about Morocco Omari, Charles Malik Whitfield, some of these guys, they've been really working with me. They are celebrities in their own right. Yes. Charles Malik Whitfield, Chicago Meds, Temptations.
Yeah.
You with Tyler Perry, blah, blah, blah. He will probably, he's going to be doing our acting class this time.
Okay.
And then Morocco Omari always comes through for us, and he's P Valley and some other stuff.
Nice.
People like that comes in my head.
Will you come back for part 2?
Do you have? I know you have to go. We normally sometimes we have overtime, but we know that you have another engagement to get to.
Yes. 2
and
p.m.
we so appreciate your time. You know what?
Thank you so much.
You have lit up our screen with wonderfulness. We appreciate it. We are so fascinated.
We got to bring her back, Mike.
That's right, we do. Ida Norris, ladies and gentlemen, fabulous Kwanzaa Film Director Festival, all types of things going on. Play director, educator, mentor, fabulous light. We are so wonderful to have you. I feel like I just gained a great friend and mentor.
Yes, thank you. I really
Appreciate
enjoyed
it.
myself. You'll have a wonderful podcast, and everybody find me on social media. Find the Norris or Kwanzaa Film Festival or N1 Productions. You can find me any kind of way on all of the media outlets. So take care, and you'll
Thank
have
you.
a great day.
We sure will.
You too, Miss Anna Norris.
Thank you. Hey, see y'all next time on From the Zoo. Hey,
Hit it, Kiki.
have a great day, Mr. Thank you.
Have a great day, Mr. Norris.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Signal. I love it.
I can't stress, I can't stress, I can't stress right now. No. Remix. I can't stress, I can't stress, I can't stress, I can't stress right now. I can't stress, I can't stress, I can't stress, I can't stress right now. Can't stress right now. I can't stress, I can't stress, I can't stress, I can't stress right. Every time I walk, I'm an algorithm. Buddha cosmos with the street rhythm. Slide in the spaceship to the day. Everything we touch makes history. My vibe's so great, it's an energy. That's why you can't stress me. Now I'm a player with the highest degree. So let's connect and roll the family. You got the I can't stress, I can't stress, I can't stress, I can't stress right now. I can't stress, I can't stress, I can't stress, I can't stress right now. I can't stress, I can't stress, I can't stress, I can't stress right now. I can't stress, I can't stress, I can't stress, I can't stress right now.